What's going on, everybody? This is Velasco K Comics, back to you guys with another video. I'm going to be reacting to new Superman trailer breakdown by somebody else. And we're going to dive right into it. They got talking about Wonder Woman, they're talking about Batman. We got to get into it. So let me know what you guys think about this video. Like, subscribe, dislike if you dislike it. Let's dive into it.
Quit messing around.
I'm not messing around. I'm doing important stuff.
Fire.
We just got so much new information about Superman, an entire Entertainment Weekly article revealing a lot about the future of DC Studios, plus a new full Superman trailer that gave us a lot of new scenes with some killer footage, including Superman using his heat vision and Krypto in action with Superman. Lots of confirmations and updates about future DC projects. Let's get into it. The Superman trailer opens up with the John Williams theme music, which sounds fantastic. A building is falling and Superman catches it to save civilians, and we hear Lex Luthor say that Superman is the most powerful being on Earth. Then he goes into
a villain, true villain,
evil
true
bad
villain.
guy monologue, saying that he's going to destroy him, he's going to destroy everybody close to him, his Earth parents, the reporters that he talks to. We start to see the real hate that Lex has for Superman in this trailer. Now, when Lex says, "Who raised you as a child? I'll kill them too," we actually see that he is in his prison cell here. And of course, we know from other trailer scenes that he captures Superman at one point, and we know how he captures Superman and depowers him. He does that via Metamorpho. And James Gunn actually confirmed in the Entertainment Weekly article that came out yesterday that yes, Metamorpho can create kryptonite. James Gunn told us in Lex's
If you read comics or you watch the animated series, you should already know that by now.
pursuit to defeat Superman, he needs to pinpoint his vulnerabilities. One of them, as anyone can tell you, is kryptonite. But where does Lex get it? Well, there's this guy, Rex Mason, who can change his body mass into any natural element, including, you guessed it, kryptonite. He just needs a compelling enough reason to persuade Rex/Metamorpho to do this for him. Now, they don't say, but we have kind of heard some rumors and rumblings that Lex is going to take his son and basically say, do this or I will kill your son. And even
That sounds about right.
James Gunn said that you're in a situation where it's having to hurt someone, having to be an agent of the bad guy, but it'll go, oh, he has no choice. He has to be doing this, and you see how painful it is. So Metamorpho is good, but Lex probably does have his son or somebody he loves that he's threatening to harm. So Metamorpho does produce the kryptonite, which is how Lex is actually able to go toe-to-toe with Superman, or at least
Makes
capture
sense.
him temporarily. Now from here we have some pretty killer new scenes, a lot of new action scenes in this trailer. A great look at Superman flying when he's fighting the kite.
This was a fantastic shot, man. James Gunn hit it on the nail when it came to taking the formula from Top Gun.
And I gotta say, I'm actually pretty impressed with how this looks. I think visually this looks really, really good. Then we take it to his fight with Ultraman.
That's
Ultraman
fire,
is
bro.
using
That's
his
fire.
heat vision against Superman, and it looks really powerful and effective. And if you freeze frame in this scene, you can actually see when Ultraman shoots his heat vision that he has his mask off. We're going to obviously see who
People are talking about Lobo. I mentioned this in my last video that I posted. To check that out. But Lobo, I'm like, Lobo's not in this movie. He's in the Supergirl movie.
he is. It looks like he has longer hair here, so he will be revealed. And James Gunn has even teased us yesterday in the Entertainment Weekly article about who Ultraman is. They state there's also a mysterious figure on Team Lex called Ultraman, whose entire body is covered by a black suit. James Gunn continues the air of mystery, but the character has comparable abilities to Superman, including laser vision, strength, and flight. When asked if Ultraman is Luthor's attempt to create his own Man of Steel, the filmmaker replies, "I think that's close. Ultraman is sort of Lex's thug and is pretty powerful." So basically what fans have been thinking is that the Ultraman in the movie isn't necessarily going to be like the Ultraman in the comics, but is a clone of Superman that
Come on, like, If you didn't think that was a clone,
Lex has created. And James Gunn kind of hints at this right here. He's obviously not going to come out and say, yeah, it's Lex's Man of Steel. It's a clone that they made of Superman. If this is the case, I still say that it would have been kind of cool to maybe have Henry Cavill play the clone of Superman, just kind of a one and done thing, but kind of a little homage to him. That won't happen, of course, but we are going to see who Ultraman is. As we can see in the scene, he does not have his mask on. Now, at some point, it looks like Metamorpho creates just a giant ridge in the ground, like the ground just starts opening up, but
that's what I was saying in my last video. I'm like, yo, Metropolis is split in half. Like, this got to be like the final stages of the kaiju coming out.
It does seem to be Metamorpho's doing. This most likely comes from them being in Lex Luthor's prison, which might be underground, which is why the ground could be opening up. Metamorpho could simply be splitting it so they can break out. Superman also looks very beaten up in this scene. Like you can tell by his eyes, he's very beaten up. So Kryptonite was most likely involved right before this scene happens. And we know Metamorpho in the prison cell with Superman does produce the Kryptonite to weaken him. So he probably just took a beating from Lex, but talks to Superman, and Superman probably tells him he'll do everything he can to save whoever Lex is holding that he loves. So Metamorpho helps get them out of there, and we can see Superman and Krypto fight Lex's soldiers. If you slow it down, you can actually see Krypto jump to the Lex soldier, take his helmet off, which allows Superman to punch him right in the face and knock some of his teeth out. So Krypto will be a lot more involved than just jumping on Superman and kind of breaking him a little bit like we saw in that one scene. Also, in a recent TV spot that was released, we do see Superman in the Fortress of Solitude call for Krypto, and then the next scene is him and Krypto in action where Mr. Terrific questions Superman bringing the dog.
Krypto, you brought that
So
dog,
we're going
man.
to be getting lots of Krypto, it seems, in Superman, which is fantastic. Then we see a scene with him and Guy Gardner, and Guy says, make a move, Big Blue. And yesterday, James Gunn actually talked a lot about the Justice Gang and the universe in general that we're about to go into with Superman. They state,
I read about
in this world, humanity has clued into the existence of metahumans, i.e. superpowered individuals, for 300 years. It's a world that includes the Justice Gang, a super trio comprised of Hawkgirl, Green Lantern, and Mr. Terrific. But they went corporate. Maxwell Lord, played by James Gunn's brother, Sean Gunn, the head of Lord Tech and one of multiple tech billionaires in this world, is their backer. They're good, they just are not saintly, James Gunn says. It states it's a world that often has a problem with someone like Superman. He's virtually all-powerful, so it's a challenge to physically stop him. His combination of his upbringing in rural town Smallville and the dying wish of his Kryptonian parents to safeguard humanity forms Clark's firm ideals about bettering civilization. No corporation or government can taint them. And they basically go on to state that this does cause conflict with the people that he knows. It causes conflict with Lois and with the Justice Gang. So this scene right here with Guy Gardner is probably him realizing that Superman is the one to stop everything because he is virtually almost invincible. That's why he's telling him, make a move, Big Blue. Then we have a scene that I just kind of realized is most likely Superman holding Metamorpho's son. And they look to be in some sort of a pocket dimension, maybe somewhere in space. But this shot right here does seemingly confirm two different things. One is that we've heard there are going to be pocket dimensions in this movie, just like we saw in Peacemaker. And we see it again in the Peacemaker Season 2 trailer. They go into the closet, the armor room, and they end up in a much different and bigger space. It also kind of looks like the multiverse is introduced in Peacemaker 2 as well. So I'm sure there's going to be some elements of that in this scene. And then again, like I mentioned, it does look like Superman has Metamorpho's child in this scene in his right hand. So Metamorpho stops producing the kryptonite to weaken Superman. We then see Lois Lane flying one of Mr. Terrific's ships. I'm curious to see how that plays out, what leads to that situation. But then one of the final scenes of this trailer is an absolutely epic scene of Superman using his heat vision. Superman looks very beat up. Mr. Terrific says, stop playing around. They're kind of making a joke in this scene. He says, I'm not playing around, I'm doing important stuff. And then we see him absolutely shred with his heat vision. I don't know about you, but this trailer made me so much more hyped for Superman. I was already
me
pretty
too.
hyped, but the action that we've seen in this really pushed it even further. So let me know what you think about this trailer in the comments down below. Now, to talk about the future of DC, again, James Gunn gave us a lot of updates recently. Yesterday, they talked a lot about what's happening with DC. I'll give you the short version so you know what's happening. 1. James Gunn did confirm a Wonder Woman movie is in the works right now. They are writing it. This is a movie, and of course they will be recasting Wonder Woman. She will no longer be played by Gal Gadot. They have not cast her yet, James Gunn confirms, but the movie is happening. James Gunn did also state, along with David Zaslav, the head of Warner Brothers Discovery, that the most important characters moving forward are Superman, Supergirl, Batman, and Wonder Woman, along with some other characters as well. He did say Peacemaker Season 2 was incredibly important for the overall story that they are telling in the DC universe. James Gunn said, "Right now I feel great about where 2 of those characters are, and then we're dealing with the other 2. So he feels great about Superman and Supergirl, and he's dealing with the other 2, Wonder Woman and Batman." Here's where things got kind of controversial online yesterday. James Gunn was asked if he was already thinking of a sequel to Superman, and he replied with, "What I'm working on is in some way, I mean, yes, but is it a straight up Superman sequel? I would not say necessarily." So basically what everybody is thinking, since it's been rumored that
We already know where this is going.
James Gunn is working on a world's finest movie with a Batman and Superman team up, is that that's what we're getting, a Batman and Superman team up film. Not necessarily a Batman versus Superman film, but fans are worried that it might be a repeat of what Snyder did.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting for.
Instead of giving Batman his own movie, they'll jump right into a Batman and Superman movie. That is obviously not confirmed yet. We'll have to wait and see, but you can let me know your thoughts on it. And last but not least, James Gunn does confirm that the Batman 2 with Robert Pattinson and Matt Reeves is still happening, and it is going to be a really important project, he said. He says, despite contrary reports, it is happening. So that's it for the DC news today. Let me know what
you guys think about that, man. Wonder Woman, Batman, new Superman movie coming out. Like, subscribe, dislike if you dislike it. Relax, okay? He's out.